What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. We've got a special project for you today. We've got this old school Bonanza mini bike. Came with an old like 5 horsepower flathead on it. Pretty much all together. I do have a seat, but I don't think it's the correct seat. I am super stoked. So yeah, this is a Bonanza frame. I'm not talking about the show your old Pop used to watch. About the same age though. It's pretty much all together. So I put it on Facebook, a couple forums. Should I rebuild the flathead? Should I Predator 212 swap it? I've got everything from keep it original to stretch it and, you know, put a built 212 on it. So I don't know. I've got a spare 212. I've got a 212 on the Baja, and then obviously we got the chopper. But I don't know, man. I think that I can't get the pull start, so I think I'm gonna fiddle with it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to take this off. I'm going to put the 212 on. I think this thing needs to be put on the road. It deserves to hit some trails and relive. So we're gonna do that. I think I'm gonna start with the 212. I'm not really gonna do much to the frame. Honestly, I don't know if this is the original paint. I see some overspray, so I'm assuming it's probably not. But I mean, this thing is in great shape, to be honest. It's missing a foot peg, but at least the at least the hardware's there. Looks like we're missing obviously the carburetor, or the air filter for the carburetor. The pull start's stuck. I'm gonna pull this off, see if I can rebuild this. While I'm rebuilding it, we'll put the 212 on there. So brakes, everything works, you know, everything is in working order, which is super cool. So let's get this thing on the table and dive into it. All right, now that we got her on the frame, yeah, I'm trying to spin this. I don't think it's the pull cord. I just think this engine's seized up. I'm trying to spin this shaft, and the clutch spins, but yeah, it's pretty locked up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bolts that's holding the frame, engine to the frame. I got this from a neighbor, by the way, so I know he's a sub. If he's watching, thanks for the mini bike, man. We're super stoked. I'll see you out on the roads, and told you got the first rip for this thing. So let's get the engine pulled off. I'm gonna reuse these chains. I'm probably gonna soak them in some oil, clean them up while I'm doing everything, because they're smaller. I think it's like these are 35 chains, and they got a little rust to them. It's been sitting. So let's go ahead and get that engine off. All right, guys, over and out. Oh yeah, that fell right into place. That ain't bad at all. So I like that. The only problem I foresee is probably end up running an aftermarket fuel tank. It's gonna be a tricky to get to. All right, well, we got the engine on, the jack shaft chain on. I'm gonna move our way over this side of the project, so need to get the brake attached. So I'm gonna work on that, as well as the throttle cable. So that's the next thing I'm gonna use. I mean, throttle is kind of janky. It'll work. It's got like some weird thing, but we can use it for now. So, I mean, it's all there. This is actually, could be, fingers crossed, a running project here, boys. So we're getting there. All right, so we got a brake rigged up. We're missing a foot peg. Everything is on. The engine's hooked up. So in theory, we should test this thing, and I think that's exactly what we should do. Gonna be very precautious, but see if we can get this thing running around the yard a little bit. I think the throttle's stuck. Yeesh. All right, so after some configuring, I've got the throttle finally working. So this exhaust has like a ton of oil. It had a ton of oil in it, so it's burning off. So don't mind that. And then I had to run, the tank wasn't gonna work. I couldn't fill it up. It was in the middle, like it was messing with my throttle. So now I finally got the throttle working and it's nice and easy. I always use that tank as a test tank, so don't mind that. But let's take this little thing for a rip. Just had to rig that wire, so brakes suck. Turn this on. So I'm not really gonna go crazy, but and I'm missing a foot peg, so. Definitely geared for torque. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I got to burn that exhaust off. Pretty neat. I mean, definitely want to do a few things to it, get the brakes working, probably throw an exhaust on it, but and foot pegs. But all in all, it's pretty cool. Definitely happy with it. Forgot I was, let's see what the recorded 16 mile an hour. Definitely not our fastest one. But with that gearing, I mean, look how big the rear sprocket is. I mean, this thing, it's be an awesome little trail bike, and that's probably what I'll end up using it for. So welcome back to the garage. As you've seen, I'm working on the old 70s mini bike, but today's a new day. I've got the parts in, so I've got the throttle. I needed a new throttle for both the Baja and the older mini bike. So what I'm going to do today is get all that switched over. I've actually got kind of a laundry list of a little bit I want to do on this one, that one. So I'm going to go over kind of my to-do list, just kind of messing around, not with just one specifically. It's going to be doing things on a couple of different bikes today. But these are awesome. These are like 10 bucks a piece. I got them off Amazon. I'll link them in the description. Highly recommend them. I've used them. I mean, if you just want black grips, don't care about getting like a color one or you know, something like that, these are great. I've had nothing but success with these. So again, link in the description. Let's get into it. All right, so this kit is pretty straightforward. Comes with your left hand grip, then your throttle assembly. So, and then it comes with the cable, throttle cable. So what you want to do is go ahead and get the throttle piece separated. Get that separated. Get the bottom, you know, the bottom portion, get your threaded. Go ahead and thread it all the way in. And pull your, so you're gonna hoop this in. So this hoops into the actual throttle piece, or throttle tube, sorry. And hooks in there, wraps around, and then what you've got this little guide, put that in there, and it sits in just like that. So put your little triangle piece in, it's hooped in. Then go ahead and get your top portion. Get your top portion on. Don't tighten it down, but get the screws started. Go ahead and get your screws started on it. Go ahead and get that started so you can slide it on. Get it where you like it, then go ahead and tighten. Oh, get it where you like it. Go ahead and tighten those screws down. And it's just literally as simple as that. So, yeah, so super simple. It's not a real hard thing to do. Yeah, the issue I had with this, the throttle, all I had on hand was a little thumb throttle from like an ATV, which I didn't necessarily want to run anyway. So, and then you're going to go ahead and take off the top of your carburetor. Here. All right, guys. All right, so get your, route that. You got the little rubber boot. Route it through there. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, but I mean it's not rocket science. You want to put your spring on, and you got to hold it compressed. So spring on, compressed. Pinch it like that. So there is a little groove that holds that in there. So you put it in. And that's it. That's your throttle. So you got to screw this back in. There's a flat piece and then a beveled piece on the actual needle. So you want to make sure that that is facing out. So make sure that's out. Go ahead and screw it all back in. Take the slack out. Screw it back in. All right, so that's what I'm thinking. I like the profile. It's going to kind of blow out of the, it's going to clear the frame. I need to create a piece and weld it in here. That's going to be the trick. Getting a good piece where I can weld it together. I'm going to heat wrap this like I did the chopper, just so I'm not burning my leg on it. So excited to see what it sounds like for sure. Definitely going to take a little bit of work. All right, after a little cutting and welding, that's what I came up with, guys. I think it points down, clears the frame. I think that's going to be perfect. I'm going to wrap this. Like I said, I've got heat wrap so it won't burn my leg. Obviously, I didn't do that yet, but tell me what you think. Comment below. Do you like it? Would you go with it? Did you like the straight pipe before? Let me know what you think. Let's hear what it sounds like. Like I said, the belt, I've changed this belt. One was a little longer, one was a little shorter, and I just can't seem to get it, like it's dragging. It feels like it's too tight. So, but when I got the shorter one on, or the longer one, it takes forever to kind of engage, and I don't like the delay of the grabbing. But I do like the exhaust. I think the exhaust is a win, so I'm excited. Definitely something moving in the right direction on the Bobo Baja.